Today's video is on Expedition Fuel by Expedition Research. We're going to be testing it over 16 ounces of water, or under 16 ounces of water. This is what they say about it. It's got a 100-year shelf life, it says. I don't believe I'll be testing that today because I think I'll expire before it does. Burn time of 15 minutes. In the past where I burned these, it's that plus. There's 4 fuel tabs in this, and each tab is heximine at, what do they call it? 14 grams of heximine, and it does burn 15 minutes, as I said. So we're going to take one out. They're individually packaged. We'll take one out, light it up. I haven't had any luck lighting these with a ferro rod, so we're just going to use the old standard lighter. Pop one out. They're, like I said, they're individually sealed, so you can take one out if you're careful and it won't mess the other ones up. This package here with 4 in it runs about $2.50, I think. They're pretty tough packaging, so if you're careful with it, well, you know, besides jumping up and down on it and stuff along that line, it should last quite a long time. This one I've had for a little bit. I keep these in my car for an oh shit bag, you know, things along that line. Hexamine's kind of hard to see when it's lit in the daylight. Not yet. There it is. It starts popping a little bit of the surface off right at first when you ignite it. So that way you can, that's an indication that it's getting ready to go. Okay, now that it's lit, we'll take our 16 ounces of water. This is in a Snow Peak 600 milliliter cup, titanium cup, of course. I tend to like titanium. This is probably about the smallest you'd really want to run because you can see where it's hooking on the edges of it. Now we'll let it go. This is our time. So we'll set the watch there. It'll darken. You want to be careful setting this on anything. For an emergency kit, these are great because you don't have to worry about the fuel and everything like that. Store it. When you need it, you can take it out, pop it together, light it up, and do your thing. Don't burn this inside. Nothing is good to burn inside like that. So if you have to use this, take it outdoors. Take it on a balcony, on a cement step, brick, something. I wouldn't set it over anything flammable. It's setting up quite a long ways off the deal, but there's still a lot of heat there. We have a new temperature gun today, so we're gonna check it out. The water temperature is 83 degrees. It should bring this up fairly quick. Actually, we're starting to get little bubbles already. Come on. What'd you do to yourself? You should be able to see some of the bubbles coming up now. It's starting to boil. $123. 132. It's climbing pretty quick. We're getting a light boil. 140. 149. 158. 166. The bubbles are getting larger and coming up a lot more frequently now. I think I'll have to zoom in. You should be able to see it on the video. $170.6. 182.6. These are a little touchy with even a slight breeze. If you got any wind going, you'll have to block it because it'll blow the heat away. That's with any small stove along this line. We got a real slight breeze. I'm just using the case right here to block it off. You can see by the way the steam's rolling off that the breeze is coming in this way going across. Now that I've done that, it's starting to pick up faster. If I was out somewhere, I'd put this up behind a couple pieces of bark or something along that line. And the tab's burning down. It says 175. The water's obviously boiling. You can see the bubbles and stuff that are coming up. That's the last, that's what I was talking about. You got to be careful with it. Make sure your pot fits the top of that if you're going to carry it as in an emergency kit. But a few boxes of these, the stove, a pot in your car, a little bit of food. This would heat up cans of food, whatever you like. It obviously boiled the water, so that would make tea, coffee, whatever you need. The expedition fuel from Expedition Research is in my kit. I would suggest if you do things like this, it's cheap enough and easy enough to carry. It lasts virtually forever. Like I said, it'll outlast me by a factor of 2, probably easy, maybe 3 or 4, because it's a 100-year shelf life. Okay, it's burned out. That's not even really warm. We got just a little bit of flame left, but that's all that's left in that stove. It burns down, burns virtually everything. And like I said, that was it, just burned out. It hadn't sat. It's a little warm in spots, but it can be handled. If you have to, you can pick it up and take it with you. Just grab the legs. Even with it's burning, you can pick it up and carry it like this. So that's another plus if you have to move. You could grab whatever, pick up your stove, and off you go. But again, this is the Expedition titanium stove that was made to hold their expedition fuel, heximine tabs. It'll hold any heximine tab, anything along that line, any fuel tab. But the two make a nice little pairing that would go, it flat packs into this, which is a nice small compartment for your O'Shite bag or in your car kit. It's out of the way, no worries until you have to have it. But if you like the video, subscribe, ring the bell. The next one's coming up. There should be some stuff coming out from Buck here pretty soon. I'm testing one of their camp knives and their axe. And I'm looking at some canned bread. There'll be several things coming up. Some tinned hams we're talking about. and some emergency food.